Hello everyone, this is Kaiva. So it happened during class. For your information, I'm a student of SNU, Seoul National University. And that day, I went to class wearing my baseball hat. To be honest, I didn't wash my hair that day, so, it happens. And as always, I sat on the third row because I was a hardworking student. And the professor came in and he began to do his lecture. And about 5 or 10 minutes later, the professor suddenly stopped and he pointed me out. He said, "Take off your hat or leave my classroom." For your information, the professor was a Korean, so the conversations were all in Korean. I think that was my very first time to get attacked by someone on campus. You don't really get much chance to get attacked by someone, at least on campus. People say that outside campus is a jungle, and while you're on campus, you're blessed, right? And I was really young, I am still young, but that time I was the young person who doesn't really know how to deal with embarrassing situations. So literally my brain stopped working. I think my biggest concern at that time was that there were women, of course, and also men in the classroom. I just didn't want to be embarrassed by taking off my hat. I already told you that I didn't wash my hair that day, so that was the reason. And so I was just looking at my textbooks. I didn't respond to him. I know I should have, but I couldn't at that time. Yep. And after a few moments, it seemed like he was just going to continue his class. But after a few minutes, a couple of minutes later, after reading 2 lines of textbooks maybe, he pointed me out again and he said, "Take off the cap right now or get out of my classroom." And this time he didn't stop there. He continued to talk to me he said, "Take off your caps or wear it backwards," wearing like this. And he also said that he would have just said nothing if I was wearing a beret. A beret is a type of hat which looks like this. But he said he can't allow baseball hats. He added some saying that baseball hats hide your face too much, which is the same as hiding yourself in front of your professors. So he said he can't allow his students to hide themselves during class. But to be honest, I was not trying to hide myself or something, but I just didn't wash my hair. So I chose to wear my baseball hat backwards because that was the best choice. And did it stop then? No. Even after I wore it backwards, he continued to talk he and I actually had the same family name, though we were not actual family. So he said people who have my family name doesn't behave like you, being rude. Yeah. I now can say that, yes sir, you're right. People in our family name also do not make other people feel embarrassed or ashamed of. But at that time, I just kept silent. And as he continued his lecture, I started crying, but not making any sounds. The tears just went down like this, really silent. No one knows that you're crying if you don't really look to her face. And you know what? I could not wipe out my tears since I was sitting in the third row, which is almost the very front row. Everybody behind me gonna watch me doing like this. As they see me doing like this, they'll say, "Oh no, she's crying." That's even more embarrassing. So I just So that moment, I just wanted to wear my baseball hats properly again, just to hide my tears, but I couldn't. I didn't want to make things worse. And after 1,000 years later, the class was over, but it wasn't over for me. There was extra moments, because during class, students who were sitting in front of me didn't turn back during class. Like, even when the professor was talking to me, no one in the front row tried to look at my face. Yeah, I really thank them for not looking at me during class. But as soon as the class was over, they packed all their backpacks, looking at me. Yeah, imagine like you were in the front row, like you were listening to all what's happening, and you really want to look at her face, but you cannot, because if you do that, like, they just didn't. Thank you for that. But after class, like, you can just pack your backpacks like looking to the front, but they just turn back and they just pack your backpacks like this. I understand, like, if I were them, but I understand. So, like, actually this was my major class. Like, my major is English language and literature, so I think at that time I wanted to try my best, like sitting in the third row, even if I didn't wash my hair or just wearing baseball hats. But like, yeah, so this was the story. Like, you might think that this is going to be an exceptional story. That's true. I know that my story of this baseball hat is not gonna happen again, hopefully, because this is a special case, a unique case, even in Korea. Because I took a lot of lectures in Seoul National University in various types of departments, including science departments, English, like history, social studies, psychology. Of course, I learned from many professors who are in their 60s. No one, except for him, talked anything about wearing baseball hats during class. So I think you don't have to really worry about wearing baseball hats during class. Like, I just don't want you to be afraid of wearing baseball hats when you're studying in Korea or listening to lectures from Korean professors in your country. I don't think you have to worry about this, because this is a really like 0.0000001% of possibility to happen. So, how Korean people consider as a good manner may differ according to their age, gender, etc. A person in their 60s or 70s may have more strict point of view, and it also differs according to their personal experience, personal thinking, or their background, or anything. So I just wanted to tell you that even a native Korean like me also goes through this kind of situation. So even you who are watching this video, if you experience similar situations, hopefully not. I thought maybe it can be a little help. So it was Kaiva. See you in the next video. Bye.